Casinos. Caesars Entertainment is going to sell 4 properties to an affiliate for $2.2 billion. It frees up cash as the company is working to restructure a big load of debt, $24.5 billion. It's going to sell Bally's, Quad, and Cromwell. Those are casino hotels in Las Vegas, and the Harrah's in New Orleans. Now, it's selling them, remember, to its affiliate. It's selling them to itself, essentially, to Caesars Growth Properties, but a different part of itself. It leaves Caesars with more than $3 billion in cash. I mean, basically, it's...
Well, but it also is paying $3 million in cash, right?
Well, yes. I mean, it's basically moving it off the balance sheet, right? It's a little financial engineering here. And the core of this is you have private equity that still owns a good chunk of the company. They're trying to salvage what is an ailing business. Caesars,
unlike... Did you say pillage?
Salvage.
Oh, okay.
Salvage.
I misunderstood. When I heard private equity, I instantly thought
Caesars
pillage.
is only in the U.S., right? That's the big problem, is that it doesn't have Macau. It doesn't have some of the Asian properties that other casinos do.
Well, the whole thought behind Caesars is that it would just get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? This has been their strategy. And Gary Loveman, the CEO, is a marketing expert. He was actually a former marketing professor at HBS. And his whole strategy has been to just expand market share. And the idea is if you have all these customers and you give them a point reward system, you'll drive traffic back to Vegas. Interesting that they're willing to unload some of these casinos because that sort of flies in the face of his strategy.
I think the other thing that we're learning is that the market is expanding beyond Vegas and New Orleans and a couple targeted destinations. Atlantic City, state after state, is going through these referenda and allowing gambling on their own property. And
I say it's like marijuana. Right?
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
we're
reaching
peak gamble.
Trish thinks everything is like marijuana.
Yes, well, but I mean, but when you increase the supply of something, the demand of every individual property drops. So we're already seeing in Vegas the shift away from gambling and towards entertainment because they know that entertainment makes money. And now that you can go to Charlestown Raceway if you're in D.C. In West Virginia and gamble there. And
so then why do you need to go to
Maryland.
Vegas? Why do you go to AC? I mean, this is one of the points that when I've talked to Gary, I'm like, why do you keep building when you're effectively cannibalizing yourself?
Well, Vegas is still sort of a destination, to Brenda's point, right?
Yep.
It's about the other stuff that's there. AC,
you don't want to go to AC this weekend, Julie? Come on.
The beach is not bad there, but not for this weekend.
Well, hang out on the boardwalk. No, but it's exactly the issue.
I've been to AC before.
And I think it's not as romantic as it used to be.
It was kind of depressing.
Yeah.
When was it ever romantic?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, gambling.
Like a poor kid.
I was talking about gambling is not as romantic as it used to be. AC, I think AC is and always was.
Empire era, I don't know.
It seems to be all these senior citizens on oxygen tanks, but also smoking cigarettes and just loading money into these machines.
Hey, they're having fun, man. They're having fun.
Never as romantic as it's made out to be.
All right, Mt. Gox, speaking of depressing, collapsed after losing 750,000 bitcoins, or doing something with 700,000 bitcoins, not giving them back to the clients that legally owned them on its exchange, finding some customers dialing into its new call center getting lost in translation. Users of the Reddit social media website complained of being put on hold and talking to operators who only spoke Japanese. Bloomberg News called, and after about 20 minutes was connected to an operator who said there are more than 10 people fielding calls, and some were able to deal with English speakers. Phew. Mt. Gox set up the phone line after filing for bankruptcy in Tokyo last week. It's important to point out we still don't know exactly what happened. A lot of people were talking about maybe there was a theft of these coins, although it took somehow 2 years. Maybe they were hacked and there was a theft. It seems unlikely if you understand the Bitcoin protocol. What seems more likely is that the CEO, Mark Karpelès, put them into what's called cold storage, locked them up in a digital vault, and then forgot the password.
No.
Oh, well then somebody ought to be able to...
How is that even possible?
I think it's another conspiracy.
I kid you not,
Bitcoin
Jules.
Community. I don't know. What do you think of Bitcoin, by the way? We haven't talked about this with you.
I think so. Bitcoin has a classic so the proponents of Bitcoin say, it's this amazing way to move money from place to place, and that's absolutely true. But
you can do that already, right?
You can do that already,
not
but
for free,
it
instantly.
has.
How?
You'll be able to
but
do
it's
it
not free.
Hang on, Trish.
No, this is crucial.
Why don't you set up an account where you send, say, 75 cents a day to a kid in Africa who needs the money?
Here's the key.
And tell me how it works out for you.
It's not free.
Because it'll be difficult.
It's not free for Bitcoin, it's not free for anyone.
Because the volatility?
problem is you have to pay a cost to somebody to get your money into the system, and you have to pay a cost to get the money back out of the system.
So
this is the problem. One of the
Hang on, how is that?
all over
I use a free blockchain.info wallet, and I bought Bitcoins from numerous people at Bitcoin meetups. So who am I paying to get it in?
I'm sorry. Call my mother and explain the phrase free blockchain.info wallet.
Just because you or your mother don't understand it doesn't make it
No,
not
Matt,
true.
I'm
But
sick
this
of that
idea
argument.
that it's going to be...
This whole idea that, you don't understand it. Here's the problem. It's a currency. It's a currency, which means you have to understand it. If you can't understand it, you're not going to trust it. So no one's ever going to use it, and you're going to be stuck with all the volatility.
You've paid a cost.
I don't think you have.
You've paid a cost, which is you've taken the time to understand it, and you clearly do. I've seen the videos. The problem is you paid money. You paid some of your time to figure it out. Not everybody's willing to pay that cost. And what they're going to do is they're going to pay services like Mt. Gox.
You're saying time is money.
I'm saying that time is money.
In that case, I understand.
Nobody gets out of here for free. You're going to have to pay something to get money in or out of the system.
And you guys argue about this stuff.
PayPal
just enjoying it.
Can do it. Apple's trying to do
For a
it.
fee.
Square's doing
For a
it.
fee.
Those fees are going to come down.
Ain't
Just
nobody
like
not
the
gonna
big
charge you a
flat
fee.
screen TV that was a fortune when it first came out, those fees will continue.
You don't understand my utopia.
There will be Ducatis for everyone, and they'll pay in Bitcoin.
All right.